Just do a little chit chat, get ready with me. So we'll start with what I use to do my hair. My Dyson Airstrait. I gotta turn that off. To straighten my hair. So I have 2C, 3A, like medium thick hair. So my hair is both curly and wavy. The bottom layers are they get really pretty curly, and then the top layers tend to be more wavy. But this is literally like the best $500 I've ever spent. I did my hair in 15 minutes. I'll insert a clip to show you guys where I did it for the amount of time. I have used this thing so much, and like, yes, it's not perfectly sleek or anything else. Like, I don't have Kardashian hair. But this makes it so easy because I do feel comfortable like running out of the house just like this. But typically what I'll do is I'll do that, and then I'll throw in a few curls. I'll use like my Shark FlexStyle to throw in a few curls, or like my beach waver to throw in a few curls, just kind of depending on like what I'm feeling that day. But yeah, I just think it's such a great tool, and I think more people should know about it. And use it, because I literally one-off saw someone on YouTube use it, and that's how I picked it up. So I'm just gonna use my Shark FlexStyle to throw in some more curls, just to give it a little more body and a little more oomph today. I think like these could be cute. Yeah, I like that, I think. But, so we're gonna go do some window shopping. We're gonna try a new restaurant in town. So I'm gonna do a little glam for that. I don't want anything too crazy because we have like a heat warning right now here in Omaha. So I think I'm gonna try to do like a lighter weight skin tint and then just powder the shit out of my face. Am I supposed to say bad words? I don't know. Okay, so one thing I did kind of want to talk about a little bit as well is these two sunscreens. So these are my two favorite sunscreens. This is my favorite chemical sunscreen, and then this is my favorite mineral sunscreen. So the Innisfree is kind of like a greenish, oh, this one's brand new. Sorry, hold on. It's got a green tint to it, and it does have a white cast because it is a mineral sunscreen. So you definitely can't think it's not gonna have like any sort of white cast, because it does. But what I will say is it does go away. And then it leaves you with, this one says like satin finish. I would agree with that. I think it's definitely like a softer finish. It's definitely not matte. But I typically use mineral sunscreens, but sometimes I use the chemical one as well. But this one, the mineral one, does get like in your eyebrows, so you need to make sure you like take it out of your eyebrows before you put like your eyebrow gel and stuff in, because it will leave like a white cast. And then this one is my favorite chemical one. This is the Dalba UV Essence Waterful Plus. This one is super soft. It has like a really fresh, like almost like orange scent. But anyway, this is the one I'll use if I'm going for a chemical sunscreen. I would say like mineral is my preference, just because I know that it also helps protect against like light from your computer and stuff. And since I work in front of a computer all day, every day, I definitely try to go for the mineral day to day. But this one's really nice for if you don't want like flashback in your photos and things like that. I would definitely go for this one. This one I get at Sephora. It's like $22 or something like that, and it's 1.69 ounces. And then this one's also 1.69 ounces. I got this one on Amazon, and I think it was like also like $15-ish or something like that. So anyway, I love both of those. Maybe I'll use my fan a little bit. I'm drinking a lavender blueberry lavender latte from this coffee shop called The Grind, which is one of my favorites in Omaha as well. Okay, so I'm gonna clean my eyebrow like I talked about so I can do my eyebrows. Not gonna just do one. Even though the other one doesn't really leave a white cast or like mess with your eyebrow gel, I still just like to dry both of them off and kind of clean both of them off. There's a little kid riding his bike outside. It's really cute. Okay. My favorite eyebrow gel is the Rare Beauty. I know people talk about this one a lot. And here's the thing. People are like, oh, well, it's expensive and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, even the new NYX one was like $12. And I think this one's 15 or 20 or something like that. Like, the pricing between drugstore and like high-end or mid-range brands is like not that far off anymore. I also kind of think that you should just like buy the makeup you want to buy, and obviously you shouldn't like go into debt to like get makeup and stuff. So there are definitely like a lot of really great, more affordable options than a lot of the stuff that you can get like at Sephora or like your department stores and stuff. But at the end of the day, like if you have the money, I think you should just buy the makeup that you want to buy, and who really cares? I'm not a super big like luxury makeup girly. Like I have some Charlotte Tilbury and some Hourglass, which I love, by the way. But as far as like the big fashion houses and stuff go, I really don't have like any of those products, but I do love a high end. Okay, next I'm gonna fill them in just a little bit with the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. This one is in the shade Gray Black. So a lot of people think that my hair is black, but it's really just a very dark brown. So I always go in with something just a little bit softer than a traditional black pen. It's just my preference. I don't like my eyebrows to be too in your face, too blocky, too thick. I just prefer a lighter brow. Also, my eyebrows are a little uneven right now because I accidentally cut these ones too short. My front hair on this side a little too short like a couple of weeks ago, so I'm just waiting for it to grow back in at this point. So don't say anything about it. Sometimes I'll go in with like an eyebrow pencil prior to doing the gel and just fill it in a little bit that way. But again, today I'm just kind of going for a little bit softer of a look. If I'm gonna do like a crazy eye look, I will go in with my eyes first. But today I'm not really planning on doing anything crazy with the eyes since it's so hot out and I just like don't want it to all melt off. So I'm gonna go in with my base first. I'm gonna start with the Merit the Uniform Tinted Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 45. I think it's just called the Uniform. But anyway, I've been loving this product so much. It is kind of that perfect, like lightweight, very comfortable skin tint, but it does give you enough coverage to like hide the imperfections. I have a ton of redness naturally on my face, so I always like to go in with just a little bit of a tint and just kind of even out my skin tone a little bit more. So I'll just kind of rub it on my face to start, just to kind of spread the product around a little bit more easily, and then I'll go in with a brush or a sponge, but for this one I prefer a brush. To clean up in between too, I love to use these Rice Water Brights from the Face Shop. I don't use them when I'm like taking my makeup off necessarily, unless I'm traveling or like on a plane or something like that, but I really like those as well. What do you guys like to do with your Saturdays? This morning I woke up and I did a spin class at 9. And then whenever I do a spin class on the weekends, which is most Saturdays, honestly, if I'm in town, at home, and then I'll stop by one of Griffin and I's favorite coffee shops and pick us up some coffees on the way home. And then we just kind of like, it depends on if we have plans or not. Like last weekend we had a diaper keg, which it's come to my attention that a lot of people apparently don't know what a diaper keg is. It's essentially just a party where like the parents provide beer and food or drinks and food or whatever. And then everybody just brings diapers. So instead of like a traditional baby shower where people have like, I lost my train of thought, where people have like a registry and like want a bunch of gifts, they just do diapers or wipes or both instead. It's really common in the Midwest and in like, I grew up in Montana, so it's really common in Montana as well. But apparently a lot of people haven't heard of that, and I did not know that. So I don't know, man. I don't make these things up. I just go to them. Yeah. Gonna go in, I don't necessarily feel like I need to sculpt my face today, so I'm gonna go in with the LYS cream bronzer stick. This is in the shade Motivate. Just like to bronze up the perimeters of my face. And then I know that that didn't cover all of my redness. The Merit didn't cover all of my redness, but I typically like to go in and use a concealer to kind of do a little bit more fuller coverage around here. But I like to do my concealer after I do my bronzer. I think this is the F4, yeah. And just blend that in. I like this a lot. I know this is super viral, so it's not like a new product for anybody, but I will say like one of the reasons I really like it is because I find that the color doesn't pull too warm or too cool on me. So it's definitely a bronzer. It's not a contour or anything, but it does kind of give you like that really soft sculpt, and it just warms up the skin so nicely, but it doesn't make me look orange, which I really appreciate. I have a neutral warm undertone, which typically lends itself to like a lot of peaches, which is great. And I really don't mind it because I can wear both like silver and gold jewelry and things like that, but it does make it really hard sometimes when you're shopping for makeup because a lot of brands don't do peach undertones. Like I know House Labs does, Fenty does, About Face does, but a lot of brands don't do traditional peach undertones. So trying to find like the shade that's gonna work for me is sometimes like really hard. Okay, let's see. Cream blush. I've been obsessed with Rhode's new summer color lately. This is the pocket blush in the color Tan Line. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of this one, but I also want to mix in a little bit of something else just because I've been using this one so much lately and I kind of want to do something a little different. Maybe I should do Merit's blush, their cream blush in the shade Stockholm, just to add a little bit more pinkiness to it. I think that'll be really pretty. Okay, just gonna use the other side of the F4 by Mario. Just a really soft wash of color because I'm gonna go in with a powder over the top of it, especially because it's so hot today. I definitely need to set everything. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go in with concealer now. This is probably my favorite concealer of all time. This is Natasha Denona's concealer. I think it's the Hy-Glam. And this one is in P1. So this one does have peach undertones, which is perfect for me. I'm gonna go in with a kind of a lot just because I wanna cover some of this redness. And then I also have melasma mustache. So I like to go in with a little bit over the top of my lip to kind of even out that skin tone as well. Go in with the BK Beauty. This is also one that's literally everywhere, but the BK by Angie Hot and Flashy A506 brush. This is, there's a reason it's viral, and it's because it really is just the best concealer brush on the market. It's so flattering to like all eye shapes, and it really just kind of gets in those nooks and crannies and all the crevices. Typically what I do too is I go in with a concealer brush, and then I will go in, as you can tell, also sidebar, as you can tell, this Natasha Denona concealer is super high coverage. So I know it seems a little bit silly that I would go in afterward with my cream products, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But a lot of the time I do, just because it helps to kind of like even out and soften the edges of it. But I will go back in with the brush and just kind of diffuse those edges a little bit. And then a lot of the time I will also go in with a sponge and just kind of soften all of the edges and just kind of press it into the skin. Done. Let's go in and powder our under eyes. I recently picked up the About Face Curtain Call. This is in the shade Veil. It's a set and smooth loose powder. I haven't tried this yet. This is literally my first impressions of this. I love the packaging. I think it's super cute. I'm gonna have to get this thingy off. This is just like a plain black puff from Amazon, but I'm just gonna go in. Oh my gosh, I love that. Do you see how it's like kind of squishy? Wait, that's so fun. Wait, this looks kind of dark. I think this is the lightest shade, but honestly, I can't remember what I grabbed at this point. And before you come for me, this was purchased prior to my no buy month starting, so I did not break the rules. Okay, it's very lightweight. It doesn't look too drying, honestly, on the skin. This is my first time wearing it, so we'll have to see how it wears throughout the day. But overall, and so far, anyway, it feels very lightweight. I do have dry skin, but I have acne prone dry skin, which I was very fortunate growing up, in which I really did not suffer from like experiencing acne the way some of like my peers did growing up. But your skin changes as you get older, and it can change like due to hormones and things like that. And my skin over the last year has decided to become acne prone. So I get a lot of comedones like in this area. And it's been like a very strange kind of experience to have your skin type change, because especially when it's something like a dry acne prone skin, because a lot of the products that are used to hydrate. Okay, fun fact, my stuff just died and I was in the middle of talking. So anyway, I used my favorite powder bronzer right now, which is the Polite Society one, just on the perimeter of my face. And now we're gonna go in with a little powder blush to set our cream from earlier. I'm thinking I want to go with something a little more pinky, so I'm gonna use Kosas in Blissed. This is one of my favorite powder blushes of all time. Truly is so beautiful. It's got just a tiny bit of sheen to it, but it's nothing crazy. think it's so pretty. I tend to have blush blindness, so I'm trying really hard, you know, not to do that as much lately, but it's just so hard. I think blush is like my favorite makeup product. It used to be my least favorite. I used to literally never wear it because of the redness in my skin. So I thought like, oh, I can't wear it because I have like rosacea essentially. And then I just realized that was silly. And so now I wear blush a lot. And with just a dash more highlighter, I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt. And this is one of those ones that has like the 2 colors in it. So what I like to do is just kind of mix them a little bit and kind of use it as more of like a blush topper as opposed to like a traditional highlighter. But I just think it's so pretty. This is such a nice highlighter. This one, and then the, what is this one called? The Demi Glow by Fenty is also stunnosa. Like, so beautiful in the packaging, super cute. Before we go in with the eyes, I'm just gonna use the new Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray by One Size. This is also the first time I've used this one, so. But I've just heard such good things about it, and I love their On Till Dawn setting spray. It really is so beautiful. Okay. I say okay way too much. I need to work on that. For the eyes, I'm going to do something super, super simple. I'm really not in the mood to do a huge eye look today. So I'm just going to take the bronzer that I used and put that in the crease of my eye. Give myself a little bit of depth and definition in that crease. And then I'm just going to take the Moon Dust palette from Urban Decay. I love this palette. It's probably my most used. And I'm going to take both the shades Space Cowboy Rides Again and Lunar Lit and just kind of mix those together and then put them both all over the lid. Just like a pinky kind of glow. Just everywhere. This is my favorite like 2 to 3 minute eyeshadow look that I do. And then we'll throw on a tiny baby wing. What did I do? There it is. Use the ColourPop liquid liner, BFF liquid liner. And what I like to do is really just go right here, make a little dot, and then I'll just kind of connect that over. And don't worry too much about being too messy because you can just clean it up at the end. But yeah, just a tiny little baby wing. This is even thicker than maybe I sometimes do, but I mean, classic. This eye is what kind of was supposed to happen on the other eye and didn't, so I'm just gonna even those out. All right, let's throw on some mascara. I've been loving the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize lately. I know it has kind of mixed reviews and it absolutely is expensive, but I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for a good mascara, so don't come to me about like not wasting money on mascaras because I do. A little curl. Right now I'm just using the e.l.f. eyelash curler. I really want to pick up the, sorry, my nose is running. I really want to pick up the Shiseido eyelash curler during the Sephora sale. So that is definitely on my list. I just finished up putting on the mascara, and then I did kind of like a strawberry shortcake themed lip. So I used the Mario Ultra Suede lip liner pencil, Charlotte Tilbury Kissing lipstick in the shade Candy Chic, and then I topped it with the Super Shine gloss from Mario in the color Rose Water, and I think it's so beautiful. But yeah, so this is the final glam. I'm still really getting used to a lot of this YouTube stuff, so bear with me as I continue to kind of work through camera difficulties and lighting and sound and everything else. But if you're here and you're watching this, I'm so glad you are, and I hope we can hang out again in the future.